Hello, my name is Names of Goblin, and this is my web show. Today I'm going to be doing a segment that I hope I'll be able to do more of in time coming up. It's called Why is this card useful? And I'm going to be pulling cards out of a hat. Can't really move the camera very much, so I can't really show the hat, but I'm going to pull a random card out of the hat that I have in these types of sleeves. And I'm going to be talking about why is that type of card useful. I pulled the card out of the hat earlier before the video. The card or card type that I'm going to be doing a segment of is fetch lands. Now, fetch lands I found are useful for a variety of reasons. Three are the most prevalent in people's minds. I've been asked multiple times by people newer than me, which is, I don't know, I'm getting old. People are newer than me. I've only been in this for a year, and I'm talking about why fetch lands are useful. I feel proud. I feel old. But these are why fetch lands are useful. The first reason why fetch lands are useful is what everybody says is not a reason, and that is deck thinning. When you have 12 fetch lands inside a deck, and I've seen decks with 12 fetch lands. Grixis sometimes has a lot of fetch lands. A lot of twin decks have a lot of fetch lands in them. It just depends on what decks you're using. But if you're using a heavy fetch land deck, one of the reasons why you're using a heavy fetch land deck is not only to get the correct mana base, but to thin your deck enough where you know what you're going to draw. The effect of normal fetch lands are pay 1 life after you've tapped it, sacrifice blankety blank, search your library for a blank or a blank card, the blank or a blank being like a forest or swamp, or forest and plains, and put it on the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Basically, what I'm going to say is you're getting a free card out of your deck. I consider a deck a library and hand combined. It's not true, but for this situation, I'm going to. Now, you play one from your hand, that's a -1, or that's a +1. When you get something out of your deck or your hand that's from that card, that's also a +1, so it would be equal to 2. I think a 2 is a lot better than a 1 or a 0. You run 12 fetch lands, you run 12 other lands. In 12 land cycle, if you do all fetch lands first, you're getting 24 cards out of your deck. And that's assuming you do that on first turn, which is impossible. But just stay with me here. You get 12 fetch lands out of your deck. Then you get to 12 regular lands out of your deck. That's a little over a third of the deck. And that can mean the difference between drawing a regular land and drawing a something that you really need. You need the lands out on the field, not in your deck. Basically what I'm saying. And these fetch lands will help you do it. The second reason, landfall. It's a common deck type in Standard, and it's a common deck type in Modern to an extent. Basically what landfall is whenever a land enters the battlefield, a certain effect happens. For example, I believe it's Lotus Cobra. I don't have the card with me, so I'm throwing this out of my ass. But I think it's Lotus Cobra. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, you add a mana of any color to your mana pool. So that's just an extra mana. When you're adding a fetch land, you're putting down the fetch land. That's 1 mana that you would add. You tap it, sacrifice it, put another land out untapped. That's another land. That's 2 counters. Or that's 2 landfall effects that happen on that turn. I know landfall abuses the heck out of it. They like running fetch lands. They don't care what other lands they put down, because they know with the fetch land, it's going to be alright. The third reason, this is going to be a little shorter video, I'm surprised. The third reason is the shuffle aspect. I did this based on a vote I had on one of the groups that I'm involved in. First place was, of course, deck thinning. Second place was landfall, and third place was deck shuffling. Each fetch land allows you, or you have to shuffle your deck afterwards. And because of that, you get, if you have 12 fetch lands in a deck, you have up to 12 free shuffles. Which may not seem like really much, may not seem really good to some of you. Especially to some people with some deck, or a certain type of decks. You don't really want to shuffle that much. You don't want to look through your deck. But there are types of decks where you have, or where shuffling equals a better odds. It allows you to top deck like a pro, or top deck like a chump. But it gives you more options. This is Names of Goblin. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, just or if you have problems with it, comment. I'll see what I can do to make the future videos better. As I said, this video was based on a vote I had on one of the Magic groups. So it does not necessarily reflect my opinions or the opinions of Wizards of the Coast. I thank you for watching, and good night, or good day.